I am here today at Engaku-Ji, the Temple of the Spirit. I am way up in the mountains outside of Tokyo, about an hour, 2 hours, in a place called Kamakura. It's a very sacred old mountain place. And I am in a very old, from the 1300s, temple. It's called the Temple of the Spirit. And it is the home of Zen Buddhism. This is where Zen Buddhism basically got established, and around the 1300s. It's the most incredibly beautiful place I have ever been. And I have to be really quiet because it is where the monks live. And I'm going to walk by a place in a minute, and you can actually hear the monks singing and playing the flutes, and it's so beautiful. I could just live here. And I have spent the day for hours just wandering up and down all these little teeny tiny roads, or actually little teeny tiny walkways that are carved into the side of the mountain. And I just wander up and down these little mountain places. And then carved in the middle of the mountain is like a cave, and inside the cave is like a little Buddhist praying place. It's just so cool. This video is not going to really do any justice to the beauty of this place, and it's hard to even describe. But it is very Zen. I mean, this is where the Zen garden came from, and I'm surrounded by Zen gardens. I'm going to let you walk with me for a little bit. This is a little area that the monks have been in here singing and chanting. I was hoping to catch them again for you, but if you missed my previous video, please listen because you can hear them on there. It's a great deal of exercise because the Japanese built these temples, very high places and with a lot of steps. So this is definitely not for the faint of heart or anybody out of shape, because I've spent the day climbing a mountain and climbing steps. Good thing I exercise a lot. I'm standing here hoping to get the monks chanting again. I imagine that this is what heaven would sound like, because it is so incredibly beautiful when they start singing. Okay, I think we're going to go now. Listen. Here's your moment of Zen for the day. From the heart of Japan. Doesn't get any more Zen than this. Look at where I am, up in the middle of the mountains. Hopefully you can hear this really well. Truly the most amazing place. And this is actually the first time I've used my video camera. So I'm sorry, I'm not a real great videographer. And I hope you're not getting seasick watching me bounce around with video camera. Here's one of the monks. And I can't figure out how to pause the video. So unfortunately I have to keep taking these little snippets. But I want to take you on a walk with me up the side of one of these mountains in a moment. There's some private areas like up here where I imagine the monks reside because you're not allowed in these areas. The gardening is incredible. And it's a beautiful day here in Japan. It's overcast and cloudy, thank goodness, because it's about 88 degrees. Very, very tropically humid, like I'm used to in South Florida. So I'm definitely working up a sweat as I take you on a walk with me. And I hope that you think this is just as beautiful as I do. This is one of these little areas. And you can see way in the back of the picture that there's a room carved into the side of the mountain. And we're going to go by one of those. But when you go in that room, there's a Buddha and a bunch of prayer, sacred objects in there. It's really, really very cool. And as we're walking, there's just temples and shrines everywhere. There's some really big, magnificent ones. Some of them have incredibly lavish paintings on the ceilings and Buddhas made of gold. This is one of the bigger ones. And some of them are real small and very understated in the way that they're done. Okay, this is so far my favorite part. So I'm going to take you on a walk with me because I love this place. And then after we get done here, I'm going to take you on a walk into the woods because there's all sorts of trails in the woods. And I have to be real quiet because look at this. This is incredible. But I have seen a few of the monks back here. And although you are allowed back here, I think that this is a place where they like privacy. So we're going to be real quiet. This is one of these little places I was telling you that's carved into the side of the mountain. Can you see the mountain? And right in the middle of it is this really cool little altar. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be huffing and puffing. We got a lot of stairs to walk up. But I had to show you this because this is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. Telling you, it's a good thing I put in a lot of hours at the gym. I don't know if I'd make this trip very well. I'll probably lose 5 pounds today. Okay, we're going up the side of the mountain. All right, let's go this way. This is my favorite little spot. This is my spot on top of the mountain. Again, sorry that this is so wobbly, but it's quite the workout. Carrying a pretty big bag also on my shoulder. Okay, let's see if I can get a good picture of this for you. This is a little temple on the side of the cliff. I'm going to see if I can get a really good shot for you guys. You can hear me breathing, I'm sure. Okay, here's one of these cool little places that are carved out. Okay. You can see they have all sorts of little statues and things on the side of the mountain. That's just so cool. This is one of my favorite little things right here. Let me back up so you can really see it. this is the side of a mountain. And right there, carved right in the middle of the mountain, is this really amazing little altar that I guess the monks come in here to pray. What a great little meditation spot, I think. Just amazing. Really, this side of this mountain, it's incredible. Okay, so here we go. Going up and up and up. And I did go as far as you can walk up here. And they have a little garden, the monks do, up here on the side of the mountain. Which is just so neat. I think I may have been a Buddhist monk many lifetimes ago because I just really, really love this place. Okay. This is about as far as we can go that they'll let us. You can see they have a little garden up here. And you can see above me right there a railing. And there's some more walkways. But I can't go there. That is all private. And I imagine that this is, just for the staff and the monks that live here. This is a little plateau that we've reached. And again, here we are, right here on the side of the mountain. And there's this beautiful little Buddhist altar. How cool is that? Really, that is just so cool. So, we're way up here high. And I get a good shot of the trees. Some of these trees, I can't imagine how old they are. There's just bamboo everywhere. So, okay, if you don't like to go on roller coasters and you get motion sick, you might want to stop the video at this time as we walk down the steps. And hopefully I can do this and not fall on my face on the way down. And we're almost done with this little tour. I just want to take you to one more little plateau here that just has a really spectacular view of the rooftops of all the shrines and temples. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's so peaceful here. There is just nothing but the sound of birds. And most of the other visitors, they like to stay in the main parts where the big temples are. So I'm lucky to be up here by myself, all alone, off the beaten path, as they say. Some more little pathways, little temples. Going down these very cool sort of homemade steps. Okay, this is our last stop on our little mini mountainside tour. And you see here, there's a little shrine and some people, I'm not sure what they're doing. Maybe prayer or meditation, because after all, this is a very sacred and holy place. And I gotta give you this view. This is an incredible view. And this is basically where I am. Way up here. All these rooftops, this is all part of the temple. These are all little temples. And let me walk over here because there is also a really interesting graveyard. And as odd as it may sound, although maybe not because I'm a medium, I've always had a real fascination with graveyards. I love graveyards. I think they're so cool. So there's a graveyard. No idea who's buried there. But this is my day off today in Japan. And I'll be working again tomorrow. But sometimes I got to get out of the concrete jungle and I got to get out into the green. And these are the best places to go because around all the temples and shrines, they have amazing gardens and they're all protected. So if there is a garden or land around the shrine, even if it's in the middle of Tokyo where real estate is very hard to come by and very expensive, they cannot build because the gardens are protected. Many of these old shrines have suffered all sorts of damage and been rebuilt. A lot of the ones in Tokyo were destroyed or partially destroyed. During World War II, I think about 2/3 of Tokyo was bombed. And even before World War II, back in the 15 and 1600s, which is in the time of the samurai, there was lots of, wars and all sorts of things. And at one point, the Mongolians invaded, which was a pretty brutal time. Geez, I need to brush up on my history. I think that might have been around the 15 or 1600s. And this shrine suffered some damage during the Mongolian war. And there was some fire damage, so they did have to rebuild this. All right. I am going to sign off for now. Try to save a little bit of battery. Thanks for coming along with me. And next we're going to head out into the woods. See you then.